Alright, Ian. Now is the time for me to do a tier list of all the vanilla races for Hardcore World of Warcraft Challenge. So we'll start off with the female dwarf, instant F tier. I'm not going to be playing a female dwarf. I am considering playing a male dwarf because they do have Treasure Find and they have Stone Form, and I think they might also have increased range damage or pet damage or something like that. So if I want to be a hunter, that would be pretty ideal. Fun-wise, playing a dwarf, I do have the ability to get away with some slurs against other races, namely the elves. I will put that solid B tier. I'll consider that highly. Female gnome, instant F tier because I don't want to play a female gnome. Enough said. So here's where things get interesting. Today at my shitty retail job, I was highly considering playing a male gnome because they have the intellect increase, they have engineering that will be really good for survivability. And they also have escape artists too. They're essentially like the craftiest little dudes you could think of. So I think this is like a really high A, especially if you're a mage, because that's just like mobility out the ass, you know, because you can like frost nova, you can blink, I think you can do greater invisibility, plus all those different engineering traps and like escape artists. That would be really, really good. Female human. Humans have, let's see, what do they have? They have human spirit, which just increases their spirit. They have, I think they have a trinket as well. I'm not sure. I don't really remember. This would be really good for paladin, which is also a really good choice for survivability. I haven't really seen any other tier lists. I'm just doing this based off my own knowledge because I think that'd be way more fun. It's all for you, Ian. So female human, they are like the second hottest race in all of World of Warcraft, so I'm gonna have to put this in an A tier. And male human, instant S tier. Female night elf, also an S tier. That's the hottest race in all of World of Warcraft. As for night elves in general, though, they have Shadow Meld, which you can't use in combat, so that will not be of any use to me whatsoever. They do have a dodge chance increase, I believe, so if I want to play like a rogue, that would be really good. Also Druid, because that's all you can play on the Alliance. They're not that much more useful because, you know, that's all they have really is just the dodge chance, and I guess they have the Spirit form, which is kind of faster, but I mean, no, that's useless because it's hardcore, so if I die, that's it. I'll put male Night Elf at like A tier. And the female Night Elves have better animations anyways, so if I'm going to be Night Elf, I will be a female. Female Orc is a solid F tier. They're ugly. They look pretty beat up. Their animations aren't bad, but just in general, all around, not something you want to be standing next to. Male Orc. So orcs in general, they have like the Blood Fury thing, which I don't recall what it does exactly. I think it increases their damage for a short amount of time, which is nice and all, but I think I would rather have utility. But they do have increased damage with pets, I believe, as well as like axe damage, I think. So if I were to be like an orc warrior, I would have a really good time. They are an invasive species, however, so that's going to have to put them down in C. Female Tauren, that's going to have to be F. Male Tauren, they have the Thunderclap, like an herbalism increase. That's not very helpful for me. I think they have nature resistance, which is kind of useless. I'll put them in like a C. Female Troll is the third hottest, I think. There's only one good face with them. The rest of the female troll faces kind of look like they live under the shadow of their father's fist in fear. They look like their face was rearranged by their stepfather. So I think I'm just going to put this in an F. The trolls, in general, they have, I think, a range damage increase for like throwing axes, bows, whatnot. They have a haste increase, I think. It's called like troll berserking or whatever. If you activate it, you do things faster, which is pretty cool. I don't think I'm going to play a troll. I also don't think they're very cool because they were cannibals at one point, and they also got genocided by humans and elves. So yeah, not very based. I'm gonna have to put them in a D tier. And the female undead, that's gonna have to go in a sexually curious C tier. Undeads in general, they have Will of the Forsaken, which I think makes you immune to charm and fear. Not nearly as good as like Escape Artist, I don't think, but it's really good. It's mostly like a PvP thing, I'm pretty sure, so I don't plan to do PvP, obviously, in hardcore. I mean, unless I'm gonna play a rogue, I don't really need them, so I'll put that in like just an overall D. So my choices really are just like human, night elf, or gnome rogue. So I'm gonna hop in the actual game and take a closer look at that.
A few moments later.
So now's the part where I get to choose a character and class. So you have to be on Blood Cell Buccaneers, I believe, for the North American version of hardcore, because that's where all the people are playing. And my choices were between human male. Oh, he looks wonderful. He looks like an HR disaster. How about, here's a caveat. I can only play as what's already generated. Not class-wise, but appearance-wise. So this would be my dude if I chose human male. That's great. So my choices were between human male, night elf female, and then gnome male. If I'm going to be a human, I don't think I'd want to be a mage because while they do have increased spirit, that's more so like a paladin thing. The mount would be no issue because you get a free mount as a paladin, so that's something to think about. There'd be less grinding. That seems pretty handy. I'm just not sure I want to do Elwyn again. And if I'm going to play a night elf female, I would probably be a rogue because I would be nearly untouchable. And I would also somewhat have two vanishes. Shadow meld isn't that useful unless it's like a like I shadow meld when mobs are passing me, but you can't use it in combat, I don't think so. And then druid would probably be a little bit more useful. The only issue is I would have to do quests, like druid quests in between, and I might die doing those quests, and that would be embarrassing. I kind of want to do no mage because they can escape from speed altering effects, so that's basically a get out of jail free card, and the intelligence is going to increase my magical damage. And then I have resist to arcane, which isn't that useful in all situations, but my engineering would be increased, so I would have to work less for engineering. Human paladin, female night elf rogue, or druid, or gnome mage. And to make it even more fun, I'll even let you decide what it looks like. You can just like send me a picture of one that you want me to make it look like, and then I'll make him look like even more of a How about that? Well, thanks for watching, Ian. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you have a good rest of your day, man. I'm really looking forward to this, so see ya, friend.